Alright, so in this video, I'm going to solve the equation x to the power of 8 is equal to 25 squared. So to solve this, I'm going to first rewrite this as x to the power of 4 times 2 is equal to 25 squared. And if I have something in the form a to the power of m times n, this is equal to a to the power of m to the power of n. So x to the power of 4 times 2 is equal to x to the power of 4 to the power of 2, and this is equal to 25 squared. Now I'm going to subtract 25 squared on both sides. So these two cancel out, and I get x to the power of 4 to the power of 2 minus 25 to the power of 2 is equal to 0. And before we actually do this, I'm actually going to take the square root on both sides so I can cancel these 2's out. So I get x to the power of 4 minus 25 is equal to 0. Now from here, I'm going to rewrite this as x squared to the power of 2 minus 5 squared is equal to 0. So now I can use the formula a squared minus b squared is equal to a plus b times a minus b on this. So this turns into x squared plus 5 times x squared minus 5 is equal to 0. So I get two equations. X squared plus 5 equals 0 and x squared minus 5 equals 0. So for x squared minus 5 equals 0, I get x squared equals 5. If I take the square root on both sides, I get x is equal to positive or negative square root of 5. Now for x squared plus 5 equals 0, I can subtract 5 on both sides. So I get x squared is equal to negative 5. If I take the square root, I get x is equal to the square root of negative 5, which is equal to the square root of 5i. So these are my four solutions to this equation. Alright, so in this problem, I have 3 to the power of x is equal to 80. So I want to find the value of x here. So for my solution, I first start with 3 to the power of x is equal to 80. And now I'm going to take the log on both sides. So I get log 3 to the power of x is equal to log 80. Now, we want to find a way to, we want to find the value of x, right? And to get x, it's hard to do it when it's in exponent form. So we want to find a way to bring x down to make it a real term. And to do that, there is an important property of logarithms that states that if there's something in the form log a to the power of b, I can move this exponent b to the front. So this is going to equal b times log a. So in this case, I have log 3 to the power of x, and I can move x to the front. So now I have x times log 3 is equal to log 80. Now from here, I'm going to rewrite 80 here as 8 times 10. And if I have something in the form log a times b, this is equal to log a plus log b. And this is another one of the logarithmic properties. There is also log a over b, and if I have something in this form, this is the same thing as log a minus log b. So now going back to the problem, we have log 8 times 10, and we can use this property. So we can think of 8 as a and 10 as b. So this is going to equal x log 3 is equal to log of 8 plus log of 10. Now, if you guys already didn't know, log 10 is simply equal to 1. So I get x times log 3 is equal to log 8 plus log 10. Or sorry, just 1. And now remember, we want to isolate x, so the only thing left to do is to get rid of this log 3 by dividing both sides by log 3. So then this cancel out, and I get x is equal to log 8 plus 1 over log 3. Now, log 8 is equal to 0.90309, and log 3 is equal to 0.4771. So this is going to equal 0.90309 plus 1 over 0.4771. And this is equal to 1.90309 over 0.4771. Now 1.90309 over 0.4771 is equal to 3.9889. So x is equal to 3.9889. Now, the only thing left to do is to check if my solution here is correct. So the original equation was right here, 3 to the power of x is equal to 80. And my solution is x is equal to 3.9889. So if I plug this in for x into my original equation, I get 3 to the power of 3.9889 is equal to 80. Now 3.9889 is really close to 4, right? So let's first find the value of 3 to the power of 4. 3 to the power of 4 is the same thing as 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which is the same thing as 9 times 9, which is equal to 81. Now 3.9889 is a little less than 4, meaning we can estimate that it's going to be around 1 less than 81. So it's safe to say that 3 to the power of 3.9889 is close to the value of 80.